If you have ever felt like your stomach is constantly bloated, tight, or in pain right after eating, you are not alone. Millions of people worldwide struggle with gut issues every single day, and most people never get the right answers. But what if I told you that bloating, abdominal pain, and food intolerances are not something that you have to live with? In this video, I will show you how to reset your gut, decrease pain after meals, and even discover food triggers that could be ruining your digestion. Also, be sure to stick around to the end where I will be sharing 3 gut healing habits that I recommend to all patients. Hi and welcome. My name is Dr. Lindsay Marie. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician, and on this channel I like to share some of the most common health conditions with a focus on wellness and nutrition. If that's something you're interested in, be sure to subscribe. And now getting into today's topic, first of all, I would like to discuss why gut health matters. And when I say gut, I am mostly referring to the large colon, where there are trillions of bacteria housed in this area. They not only aid in digestion, but they also play a huge role in regulating your mood, your immune system, and levels of inflammation throughout your whole body. So when your gut is out of balance, something known as dysbiosis, it can actually lead to a host of problems, including skin problems, fatigue, mood changes, and more. And you can actually think of your gut like a garden. You want the right balance of soil, sunlight, and other nutrients. Otherwise, only weeds can take over. So now I'm just going to go over 4 practical steps to help you improve your gut health. Step 1 is to reduce bloating. Something that most people don't realize is that bloating is largely caused by the breakdown of carbohydrates. Actually, more so poor digestion of carbohydrates, which can lead to things like irritable bowel syndrome and things like that. Other causes of bloating include imbalanced gut bacteria, constipation, or even swallowing excess air if you are eating too fast. So what are some tips to help reduce bloating fast? Number 1, you want to chew your food slowly. This generally includes chewing at least 20 to 30 times before swallowing each bite. I know it sounds silly, but consuming excess air can actually lead to the gas and bloating, so if you take your time, it can help reduce this gas and bloating. Tip number 2, you want to reduce your consumption of carbonated drinks. Obviously, all that excess air and carbonation within those sodas or even sparkling water can help to add air inside your gut. Tip number 3, you want to avoid foods that actually trigger more gas and bloating, and these foods can include things like apples, beans, onions, or garlic. And tip number 3, you can consume things that actually help with bloating, and it has been shown that peppermint or peppermint teas can help relax the muscles within the gut and helps to resolve bloating. And that's why a lot of restaurants offer peppermints to suck on after eating out at a meal. All right, moving on to step number 2 to help improve your gut health, and that is to reduce abdominal pain after eating. When your body is experiencing pain after eating, it generally means that there is increased inflammation within the gut, or you're having trouble breaking down certain enzymes. So the causes of pain after eating may include gallbladder dysfunction, food intolerances, gut inflammation, and overeating or eating too quickly. Just a quick side note on gut inflammation. Unfortunately, the foods that Americans eat on a typical day-to-day basis, i.e. your standard American diet, contains compounds and chemicals within the foods that are highly inflammatory. I did a whole nother video on ultra-processed foods, which you can see here. And if you watch that video, you can see all of the damaging effects that ultra-processed foods can lead to. And number 1 on the list, I would have to argue, is an inflamed and aggravated gut. And if you've watched my channel for a while, you know I am a huge advocate for the anti-inflammatory diet. This is a video all about the anti-inflammatory foods that help to reduce this inflammation within your body and especially within your gut. These videos will be linked here and also in the description box below. But now moving on to some solutions that can help to reduce abdominal pain after eating. Number 1 is that you can keep a food journal and you can track which foods are causing pain and which foods you do better with. When you know your own body's response to certain foods, then you can know how to avoid those foods for the future. Number 2, you want to be focusing on eating smaller meals over a slower period of time. The more you overwhelm your gut with excess food or portion sizes and eating it fast, it can definitely affect your gut. Another tip that can help to aid in your digestion and help to reduce abdominal pain is to avoid high-fat meals later in the day. High-fat foods are harder to digest and actually trigger more gut activity, so avoiding those foods when it's more time to rest will help to decrease those pains that you can get from high-fat foods. Tip number 3 to help reduce abdominal pain after eating is something that you may have heard of before, but it's the fact that fermented foods or highly acidic foods can help aid in your digestion. And there are many options to consume these types of foods. Number one could include kombucha. Kombucha is a drink that I went over containing multiple probiotics and other gut healing properties. I did a whole nother video on the health benefits of kombucha, so if you would like to check that out, I will link it here and in the description box below. Apple cider vinegar is another great way to help aid in your body's digestion and reduce pain from eating. And you can just take 1 teaspoon before meals, and that will help in your body's production of acids and enzymes to help break down foods and therefore help to reduce stomach pain. And tip number 5, foods that are high in probiotics help aid in digestion. These foods can include kefir, sauerkraut, or yogurt. Also, kombucha is high in probiotics, like I mentioned before. And now for step number 3, to help improve your gut health, you want to be discovering foods that are triggers for you. I like to say that every person is different in how their gut responds to certain foods, so it's important that you can identify food intolerances that you have and that you can avoid those in the future. And just to be clear, a food intolerance is not technically an allergy. An allergy would show up as a skin rash or some distinct reaction that you're having to food, whereas food intolerances include things more like having brain fog, bloating, fatigue, or other things after eating. You can also develop diarrhea after eating certain foods, and some people even notice getting more acne after eating certain foods. So what are some ways that you can identify these food tolerances for you? Number 1 would be to do an elimination diet. If you were not aware, some of the most common triggers to inflamed guts and poor gut health can include gluten, dairy, and soy. Eggs can also be a part of this for some people. So if you can cut out these foods for 2 to 3 weeks, you may be surprised at how well your gut health has improved. Number 2, you want to add foods back slowly. So let's say you're trying to do an elimination diet. You're starting off with basic foods such as grilled chicken or rice. You would slowly add foods. You want to wait at least 2 to 3 days, and then you would see if each food is causing you issues within your gut health. If that's the case, you would know that you wouldn't want to incorporate those foods into your diet for the future. You can use a spreadsheet to track your patterns, or there are actually some apps out now that can help you track these foods, and you would be surprised at the patterns you see after doing this type of elimination diet. If you feel that you have a more severe case of food intolerances, you can actually get some testing done by your doctor. Because food intolerances are so rampant and widespread, some doctors may not be inclined to do testing right away, but if it is a problem that continues to persist, ask your doctor and have a discussion. And this food testing would include IgG food sensitivity panels. Overall, it's most important to remember how your body feels when you are eating certain foods. If certain foods cause you to feel more fatigued, have acne, have bloating, or have abdominal pain, then you know that your body is trying to signal something to you that it is not breaking down these foods well, and you want to be choosing different, more healthier foods to consume. Moving right along, before I get to the next step to help improve your gut health, if you are finding this video interesting or informative, make sure to hit the like button. And now for step number 4, to help improve gut health, you want to be focused on long-term healing. So here are 5 ways that you can heal your gut lining and microbiome for the long term. And these include number 1, eating a rainbow of plant foods. Colorful fruits and vegetables contain certain fibers that help to feed the good gut bacteria within your body. Number 2, you want to include prebiotic foods within your diet, and this can include garlic and onions. Now, I know we mentioned it before, sometimes garlic and onions can lead to higher bloating, but in smaller doses, they do contain prebiotics which help aid in digestion and gut health. Other prebiotic foods could include oats or bananas. This could be something you could try. Unless you know they are for sure your food triggers, then you would want to avoid those foods. Number 3, as we mentioned before, you want to be eliminating all ultra-processed foods. These foods are full of chemicals and inflammatory compounds that aggravate the gut, so you definitely want to eliminate those from your diet if you struggle with gut issues. Number 4, adding fermented foods to your diet over time helps to restore your gut's microbiome, and this includes things like kimchi, kombucha like we talked about, and also some smaller amounts miso soup. And number 5, something that is very important and I need to touch on, is the relationship between your nervous system and your gut. So you definitely want to get the proper amount of sleep, at least 7 to 9 hours per night, to help reduce stress. You want to focus on reducing stress and making sure that your nervous system is well regulated so that you can also have a well regulated gut. They are very closely related, and so this is very important. Thanks for making it this far in the video, and now it's time to discuss those 3 healthy tips for gut health that I recommend to every patient. And the first one, I actually did a video on this last week, so if you wanted to check that out, you can. I will link it here also in the description box below, but it includes fasting, more specifically intermittent fasting, where you tend to fast for a longer period of time, sometimes up to 16 hours, and you leave the remaining 8 hours of your day as a period for when you can eat. This can do wonders for both your health and your gut because it actually gives your gut a chance to rest and recover. If you think about it, if something is constantly on overdrive and overworking, it doesn't have a chance to rest and renew itself. Speaking of the process of renewal, autophagy is a process that is included in intermittent fasting, and to learn more about that, definitely check out my other fasting videos. But basically, autophagy is a process where your cells can begin to renew and clean themselves out during a period of fasting. Tip number 2 is walking after meals. And it doesn't have to be long. It could include just a 10-minute walk, but it definitely helps to reduce gas buildup with the movement. Movement helps to aid in the digestion by gravity. And tip number 3 is making sure that you are practicing mindful eating. And this means that you aren't distracted while you're eating, which could include being angry or upset. Also, if you are distracted by your phone or looking at screens, this can actually inhibit your body's process to release enzymes and digestive enzymes. So if you can avoid excess distractions while you eat, your body has a chance to release the proper digestive enzymes that it needs. And these 3 simple health tips alone have dramatically improved the gut health of many of my patients. You may be a bit skeptical, but you would be surprised at how powerful these 3 changes could help improve your gut health. In the end, if you want a happy, healthy gut, it's not about pills or quick fixes, it's about lifestyle changes. So I hope that today's video has helped you with some practical ways to improve your gut health. And if you make these changes within your lifestyle and your eating habits, I hope that you see improvement. Leave a comment below if you would like to say hi or share some of your experiences with your gut health journey. I would like to hear about it. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye!